Hi, my name is Goldman, and I'm an attorney with Goldman and Associates. And today I'd like to talk to you about drunk driving, or what we call driving under the influence, DUI. There are certain things that you need to know about this. Now, when I started my practice over 30 years ago, the amount of alcohol that a person could drink, which might cause them to be charged with the DUI, was greater than it is now. There was a time when, for example, a person's blood alcohol could be at a level nearly twice what is allowable now, and they would be barely drunk. A person, for example, could have a blood alcohol level of 0.15. In the 80s, 0.15 was, maybe you were intoxicated, but it was regarded by the law as just over the limit. Now, since the level is now 0.08, it's half that, 0.15 is considered smashed. Now, how did that happen? How did the law change from recognizing one level of alcohol as barely drunk to years later that same level of alcohol means, falling over yourself drunk? How did that happen? The physiology hasn't changed. The amount of time it takes for alcohol to metabolize into your system hasn't changed. So how come all of a sudden what used to barely be a crime is now a super drunk crime? How did that happen? Well, I'll tell you. Like a lot of things in this day and age, it's the politics. The politics have changed. The Mothers Against Drunk Driving, the groups that have pressured the courts and pressured the legislature to keep bringing that level down to the point where you can go to a wedding and maybe have a cocktail, maybe have a glass of champagne with the bride and the groom. You get behind the wheel, you're at risk for being charged with drunk driving. Now, what you need to know is that drunk driving doesn't mean that you're unable to distinguish between right and wrong. It doesn't mean that you're not able to say the alphabet. It doesn't mean that you're throwing up all over your wife. That's not what it means. It means that you have had more to drink than the law allows you to drive with. And that level could be very, very small. It could be maybe you had a drink when you came into the wedding, and 4 hours later, maybe a cocktail on the way out, and all of a sudden you get pulled over, and the blood alcohol test shows that you're drunk driving. And you know what happens if that occurs? It's a very, very expensive drink. Not only is it expensive to hire lawyers to defend you, to deal with this issue, but you're in the system. If you're on probation, the court charges you probation oversight fees. If they require you to put a device in your car so that you blow in before your ignition starts, that costs hundreds of dollars every month to have it. It becomes such an expensive proposition. If people knew how costly that drink was, they would never take it. It's like going to a bar and saying, "I'd like another beer, bartender. How much will that be?" "Oh, it's $5,000. Would you buy that beer? Probably not. Well, that's what's going to happen if you take that drink and you get behind that wheel. So therefore, understand what the rules are. Understand that what you need to know about this is not so much of whether or not you can handle it, whether or not you feel drunk. It's got nothing to do with your feelings. The law is what it is. And therefore, you want to drink a lot? Do me a favor. Go home. Get drunk at home. Drive yourself there. Get home safely. Then you can drink till your heart's content. Nobody's going to complain that you did that. Once you get behind the wheel and you put your safety and the safety of others at risk, the law's got a lot to say about it. Now, everybody makes a mistake. Sometimes this can happen. Judges have had this problem. Other lawyers have had this problem. People, by accident, good people who never violated the law have been arrested for this. So therefore, it could happen to anybody. If you have this misfortune, give us a call, and of course, we'll be glad to help you out.